All right, let's go to Mary in Indianapolis. What's up, Mary?
Hi, doctor.
What's up?
Hey, so my question, it's even really a hard one to ask.
Bring it
I
on.
feel stupid for asking it, but
Hey, have you listened to this show before?
quite a bit.
You are all good, man. You're a good. There is no weird questions on this show or hard questions. What's up?
Well, okay, so my husband and I, we have 9 kids together. 6 are mine, 3 are his.
9?
9.
Woo! All right, 9 kids. Okay.
Yeah. And 5 of them are girls.
Okay.
Well, he is a military veteran, and he's real strong in his beliefs and things, but he says that when women dress real sexy and provocative, that they're pretty much asking for attention from men and things like that.
Okay.
And I don't even know really how to handle that. And when he mentions it around the girls, because if something were to happen to one of them, I don't want them to ever think it would be because of, it's ever anything that they did or because they dressed a certain way or.
Yes. Let's take them off the table for a second. This isn't sitting well with you. Tell me why. There's something else going on here. What is it?
Well, for one, because I don't believe that.
Okay. Tell me more.
And 2 of the girls actually had an instance with an uncle where they were touched inappropriately.
Okay.
And I guess that's where it hits home at.
And
for a while, and he was best friends with that uncle.
And so is he blaming these girls?
No, but at the same time, like he refuses to call him a pedophile, which I fully believe. He's not allowed to be around anyone in the family at all anymore because I made a huge deal out of it, filed a police report, told everybody in the family, everybody knew that I had little girls. And there was we had a graduation party because the girls are older now, of course. We had a graduation party, and he allowed him to be at the graduation party. And, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the kids shouldn't even have to even see him be in the same room with him. But then also I don't want the girls to think it's their fault.
Why isn't he in jail?
Because the police said that it was just grooming and there was no evidence of anything. It was just his word against their word.
Grooming is a crime too. Why isn't he in jail?
That's what the detective told us. Because they sent out a crimes against children unit detective to the house, and that's what they told us. Even though CPS has even been involved because he's done things with he got accused of doing things, should I say, with his daughter's friends.
Are these daughters all your biological kids, or are they both?
No, they're my biological kids. Okay. They're older now. It happened when they were a lot younger. One I didn't even find out about until way later.
Okay. I would not have these kids around that man. I would not have these kids around your husband right now. That's just me.
Not even around my husband?
Well, he's got absolutely no regard for their safety or care.
Yeah, at first I don't think he even believed it, but there's just been too many allegations. And then since I made a big deal about it and didn't keep it a secret, other people started coming up because apparently a lot of people were keeping things a secret.
They always do. And it takes one person with courage and bravery. But the greatest gift you can give your kids when they tell you something like that is to believe them.
Oh, I do 100%. That's why I made a big deal out of it and actually involved the police.
But they got a dad that doesn't.
Yeah.
And then they've got a dad dumping. And here's why I'm digging into this. Yes. When I dress, I'll just say me, I'm an old man. When I dress nice, I want people to notice me. And so I think it's not being genuine. It's being dishonest to say, no, dude, I'm just dressing good and sexy and attractive, whatever, because it just makes me feel good. That is true. It does make me feel good. But I just want people to notice I look nice. I want people to think I'm good looking, that I'm handsome. And I'm not beyond that. That's fine. And so whether you're 14 or whether you're 40 or whether you're 55 or whatever, I think there's some truth to that. And I don't care about what anyone has to say. If an adult sexually assaults a child, I don't care what that kid was wearing. I don't care what that kid was saying. I don't care what that kid was doing. That kid is a kid. And if there is any sort of suggestion that the kids has a role to play in an adult abuse situation, I am out before I'll be out of that situation so fast.
Yeah, he's not referring to the kids. He doesn't. He's referring to like just women in general because we were watching the show, and this guy was like basically like harassing this woman sexually, and then the guy was like, "Well, you wore a shirt where I can basically see through it and see your nipples." And then Greg was like, "Well, yeah, that's true. She wanted that attention from him, or why else would she want it?" You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
That men are hardwired for that type of thing, and that women shouldn't even be allowed to wear certain things.
Here's the problem is that there's some truth in all of it. If I wear a see-through shirt, I want someone to say something. And that gives nobody license to sexually assault me or to harass me. And if I walk into a room and someone's wearing a see-through shirt, it's up to me to turn around and leave out of honor of my wife, out of respect for my daughter, out of respect for all sort, right? So it's all of it all wound up together. And so to say the way to solve this problem, I love how it has been women need to be more modest. And the response has been over the last decade or so, or men could rape less, right? Men could sexually assault less. It's both and. It's both and.
Yeah, it's true.
And so I think your husband is using this as there's something else here that you're not telling me, Mary. And I don't know what it is. And if you don't want to tell me, that's fine. But there's something else that's not right.
No, I mean, that's it. It really, I think it just makes me fall off the handle, I think. And I feel like I'm being irrational because it makes me so mad when someone says something like that.
Have you told him that I think you're wrong?
Yeah. And then he just gets real defensive. And I probably come at him wrong because I get defensive because, like I said, it just brings back all that with the girls.
Okay. I recommend having a non-defensive conversation about it.
Okay.
You've heard me say this a million times and it gets cliche after a while, but to go grab some lunch or go grab breakfast and say, hey, every time this comes up, these are my girls and I'm a woman and I want to tell you, when you say this, I think it's fair to say, somebody shows up to a bar in a see-through shirt. Yes, they want people to look at them and see that they're attractive. Fair. That's fair. And telling my teenage daughters that they are responsible for the actions of adults in their life, that's just not right. So when he says this is what they're actually hearing. And if he cares about them and loves them, he's going to be careful about his language. And I think it's fair for them to understand, hey, as a guy, when you wear this is this is the story that I'm telling myself. This is the story culture has told me about you. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm just letting you know. I'm your dad. That's fair for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he sounds like a guy that's going to get all mad and blow you off. And at the end of the day, you have to choose, do I want me and my daughters around this or not?
Yeah, he does a lot of times get real defensive and angry at first, then he'll take a day or two and calm down, and then he'll come back after he thinks about it for a while.
And that may be because you hear you hear it and you hear it and you hear it, and then you blow up, and he blows up, and now we're not even talking about the thing. Now we're talking about who's right and who's wrong, who's got power in this relationship, and that no problems get solved there. I think circling back to, hey, I want to have a hard conversation with you, and I want to take you to breakfast, and let's sit down and have this discussion. And it's going to be uncomfortable for both of us. I love you. I'm not going anywhere, but we need to have this talk. Here's why this is important to me. And then have it that way. I think that's a much better avenue to have that talk. Does that make sense? Does that feel good?
Yeah, it does, because it usually ends up in big blow-ups.
Yeah, and tell them, I have no interest in fighting with you. I've got no interest in blow-ups. I have interest in letting you know, here's how this is hitting me. Here's how I'm afraid this is hitting the girls. And you as mom, you've got a responsibility to check in with modesty and with discernment and responsibility and love. And here's the you that you're presenting to the world with your daughters. Your dad has a role. Your husband has a role to play in that also. But y'all got to be on the same page with this conversation. And any side of this conversation that gets out of whack and gets accusing, you can do whatever you want, and there's no, or anybody can do. man, now you just got a mess. Now you got a mess. You got a mess. I think the place to start here is two adults having a hard conversation together. And he is correct. When somebody walks into a bar, right, wrong, or indifferent, there's a story that's a cultural story that's told. That's true. And there is no license ever for unwanted sexual advances, for sexual assault, for child abuse, for molestation, any of that stuff. Ever. Ever. And anybody that tells you otherwise, get away from them as far as you can. Whew. It's a messy one, Mary. Thank you for the call.